Throughout the course of BMX history, there's arguably been no crew as well respected and influential as the Plywood Hoods. While Kevin Jones was pushing the boundaries of flatland and Mark Eaton was pioneering the underground self-produced BMX video, Mike Daly took zine production to a whole new level. As a slice of history, Aggro Rag did what no other publication could do. It captured the true essence of BMX. It didn't water down the content, it didn't rely on advertisers. It was raw, it was real, and it was respected. Now a resident of Portland, Oregon, Mike joins FlatWebTV to talk about the release of Aggro Rag Freestyle Mag, the book, as well as the collaboration with Subrosa to do the Aggro Rag Subrosa double top tube frame. All right, well, we are here with original Plywood Hoods member Mike Daly. Mike, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Lots of things happening for you right now, but let's start off with a little bit of a history lesson. How and why did you get interested in BMX?
Bicycle motocross action was the main influence. Late 70s. Those issues were the magazine to go to, Most Factory magazine. BMXA, Bob Osborne was always the best teacher anyone could imagine, and the best entertainer, I felt. BMX was really prevalent in York, PA. Late 70s, there weren't any tracks around, but jumping areas, all that.
Speaking of York, PA, unless you're living under a rock, if you're into BMX, specifically flatland, you know York, PA. And there's really no other reason to know York, PA, unless you're from there. But it's the home of the Plywood Hoods, and you're an original member of that crew, and that's, again, probably the most influential group of riders. How was it being part of that group?
Just all came together from friendships, the riding areas, jumping zones, street riding, ground tricks, actually, with R.L. Osborne, Bob Harrow. All of us picked up on that right away, and York, PA was our hometown.
In the intro, I mentioned that Kevin Jones, obviously throughout his tenure in the Plywood Hoods, really pushed flatland to what it is today. And Mark Eaton was pioneer of that underground video production, and you really pushed the production of zines, which is kind of a lost art today. How and why did that kind of seed take hold, and why did you start producing Aggro Rag?
Again, that goes back to BMX action and my interest in journalism. Not only BMX action, but Super BMX, BMX Plus, Bicycles and Dirt, every magazine we could find, I stacked up, and it was only natural to eventually start making our own zines. Actually, when I was in middle school, I made a comic book called Junior and the BMX Trick Team.
Nice.
With my friend Robert Tweedy, and that was '81, and we had at least 2 issues of that. But when skate rags, they called them, became popularized in the skate magazines like Thrasher, seeing that, and at that time Thrasher was printed on newsprint, it just seemed so cool that I immediately ordered a zine called Geek Attack from New York just to check it out, to see what one looked like. And I was blown away. One of the pages was cut on the corners to, and he had coping around it so it looked like a pool. I mean, it was just like really inspirational, and I was like, well, I gotta make one.
Where'd you ever come up with the name for Aggro Rag? Well, it came to me in a dream, Mark. No, actually, aggro is the abbreviation for aggression. and I just shortened it, and by a skate rag, bike rag, scoot rag, Aggro Rag Freestyle Mag.
That's awesome. So what year are we talking about? Like the premiere issue of Aggro Rag, what year are we talking?
That was 1984.
1984, and that's probably pre-internet, pre-Skype, pre-Twitter, pre-whatever. For FlatWebTV, it's so easy. We dial someone up on Skype and do an interview, or we get lucky and have somebody in person. But 1984, what was the production process like for getting the photos, the interviews, the content, and producing it?
Mm-hmm. A typewriter, and not even glue sticks, rubber cement.
So back in the day, if you're in York, PA, and I'm in Chicago, Illinois, how did I get an issue of Aggro Rag? You know, I can't order it online, so how did I get that?
Well, those first few issues, we of course just handed out to mostly friends in school, writers. We didn't sell them, or if we did, they were like $1 or less. Freestyling magazine printed a kind of a zines feature, and it didn't show the cover, but it showed the logo, Aggro Rag Freestyle Mag, that I had designed, and did a write-up, and it was one of maybe 10 reviews of other zines from all over the country, probably the world. And from that article, there was so much interest. My Red Lion address was printed in there, and boom, like mailbox would be full of zine requests with dollar bills in them and coins.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so in the original series of Aggro Rag, there were 12 issues, 1 through 12, right?
Right.
And when was the last issue, issue 12, published?
Last issue came out right before the Two Hip Brooklyn Banks contest.
Okay, and that was 1989. We are 2013, considerable gap in time. What was the catalyst to get this book done, to complete an anthology in one book? What was the catalyst there?
I have a good answer for that question. In 2009, I think it was, in Portland, I was at the New Tour, and Mike, we were talking, and I said something like, why don't you make a book of all the zines, like just make it a master collection, similar to what I did with the Dorkin DVD box set. You know, it was clear to me that's what what needs to be done yet with it. And then I think Mike realized that was probably a good idea.
This is a true story. You actually don't have all 12 issues yourself, right?
Right, I had maybe 4 or 5 out of all of them.
And where did you source the rest of them from? It's all over the globe?
No, Brett Downs, who has every issue, and Mark Luman, who has the best zine collection on the planet.
That's good to know. I'm going to track those down. The book itself, I mean, it's beautifully bound. It's amazing, the reproduction from, a Xerox to a book. What was the process like, just technically transitioning the zine to a book?
Scanning all of the issues and getting them remastered and just putting it all together.
The book, I mean, it's a healthy book, by the way, but it's not only a reproduction of the 12 issues, right? There are a few extra little things, and I know there's at least 19 pages that I'm particularly looking forward to. What's some of the new content that you can see in the book?
Each issue has at least 2 pages, just setting each one up. The very beginning of the book has 3 pages just about the cover. Kevin Jones talking about that one Polaroid. And Kevin Jones, the man, the interview, 16 pages for that. 3-part intro and the interview we got, along with a lot of photos.
You still set goals for yourself? Are you still making up tricks?
I mean, I abandoned the whole idea of trying to think about making up tricks. happen, you know? You don't really think about them, and then just all of a sudden you just did it a different way.
That's all the stuff that could really fit into a 443-page book.
443 pages. I'm gonna let that one go for a minute. This book, it's not out yet. When is the official release date?
An easy way to remember it is April 3rd, 2013, 4/3/2013.
So 443 pages of content will be released on 4/3. Sensing a theme here. Why 4/3? Why 43?
43, the best explanation or history lesson on that was Maurice Meyer's article in Aggro Rag 13. It's a one-page history lesson about the origins of 43 being sort of a magic number, a fidge number, kind of an inside joke type thing, but popularized by Karl Roth, all of the San Francisco writers, of course, and from there on, it just became infiltrated.
Kind of took on a life of its own, and it's so hard to explain if you're not in BMX, and even hard to explain if you are in BMX. So the book is an amazing collection. It's all 12 issues, which I guarantee, except for Brett Downs, no one is going to have all 12 issues in their hand at one time. But it's not the only thing that's kind of amazingly happening right now. And maybe it's, again, just coincidence and good timing. But in addition to Aggro Rag Freestyle Mag, the book coming out, you have another collaboration that went on pre-order just this last week. What can you tell me about that?
Right. The 2013 Subrosa DTT double top tube Aggro Rag limited edition.
So I'm going to ask you to hold that while we talk about it because I'm probably not worthy. First of all, there are probably a million manufacturers who would love to just jump on this project, say like, oh yeah, we want to do an Aggro Rag edition. Why Subrosa? Why double top tube?
That's a good question. It just came together. Chip Riggs, who was a early pen pal making Aggro Rag, and is featured in at least the last couple issues of that, contributed content, photos, and even stories. And actually, he interviewed Chris Moeller for the 12th issue, the last issue of Aggro Rag that I did. He works for Subrosa. He's part of the design team. And after the issue came out, Aggro Rag 13, we reconnected. We had lost touch. And he saw what I was doing. He immediately ordered a copy of the zine. He even ordered a t-shirt. And it went from there to, hey, we've got this frame coming out. It's a double top tube. What do you think about collaborating and doing an Aggro Rag frame?
That's awesome. He is also kind of, with yourself, deeply involved in the creation of this sticker pack. And let me tell you folks, this is not your standard frame sticker pack. We're gonna actually go in and do a little detail on this, but while we're doing this, can you just describe, it's not a hodgepodge of images. This is a sticker pack.
Right. The images, text, and photo-wise all came from Aggro Rag issues 1 through 12. There was a lot of back and forth with Chip and I, and Ryan Scher, the man with the plan at Subrosa brand, getting the right look. It's a collage, obviously, but we wanted it to be representative.
It certainly is. Was there a lot of back and forth? Did you get it right the first time, or how long did it take to put this collection of images together?
That took a good month and a half maybe, and that was even pushing the limits of it because they operate obviously on tight deadlines.
Sure.
Which helps.
Motivate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can also see on the head tube here that it's a limited edition double top tube frame 43. So there's only 43 available of this frame.
Right.
And it went on pre-sale just this last week. I'm certain the Flatland frames, the 19-inch versions, are gone. They're sold out, and there might just be a few street versions left. Is that right?
Yeah, at this very moment, 8 out of the 22 of the street. That's STREETT for the top tube.
Yeah. And what's great is this is not, I mean, it's a good frame by itself. And once the Aggro Rag versions are gone, you can still get the frame, which is amazing. There is a cool colorway, a yellow with a black splatter, kind of Kuaharo Bravo-ish.
Right.
A little bit of a nod back to that. But I would act now to try to get this one. The few that are left, they are something to behold. It's a beautiful frame, it's strong, it's modern, but it's got this amazing wraparound sticker pack that it's awesome. All right, so this is obviously an amazing time right now. The Aggro Rag book is coming out on 4/3. Here in Portland, though, on 4/3, you've got something going on as a special kind of release day reading event, right? Can you tell us about that?
Right, 7:30 p.m. at the main store, Powell's City of Books. I'm going to be doing a reading and multimedia hoods presentation, if I can coordinate that.
That's pretty amazing. Powell's is an institution here in Portland, so 7:30 on 4/3. If you're anywhere near the zip code, please be there. As we mentioned, the frames are pre-ordering now. If you want to get one of the last street versions, how can someone pre-order that?
Street versions, subrosabrand.com. They're a corner store, limited editions tab. If they're available, you can get one. $399.
And they also have a special T-shirt, correct, in conjunction, kind of a limited edition T-shirt, right? That is the head tube graphic. Is that correct?
Right.
So that's pretty awesome. One thing I forgot to mention, the book that is releasing on 4/3, this is super cool. If you do pre-orders up until March 13th, first of all, what's the price of the book?
$24.43.
Okay. If you do pre-orders on or before March 13th, you will, of course you can wait, you can buy it at a bookstore, you can get it on Amazon, but if you pre-order before the 13th, what's the advantage there? There is a reason to pre-order.
Well, it helps us get the book off the ground. Ordering direct, we're doing something extra. I'm signing all copies. The initial order of 43 copies that I got, I had thought I was going to be selling a certain number of those to Powell's Books. As it turns out, I don't need to. So I've gotten those signed by Mark Lumen, Jared Suney, and Greg Higgins and Roll Hardy, just to add something to those. And the orders that we take up to March 13th, and I order that last number of books, I'm going to work on getting those signed, multi-signed as well.
Awesome. And not only the book, but you do have some soft goods available kind of in conjunction with the book. There's a t-shirt and a hoodie, awesome graphics. I can't wait to sport one. So definitely up until March 13th, get your pre-orders in. You'll get a signed copy. You'll have the opportunity to add a t-shirt or a hoodie or both. Everybody needs a hoodie, it's cold out. I mean, everybody needs a t-shirt when it's warm out, so there's really no reason not to get a t-shirt or a hoodie. It has been just amazing talking to you. I think I'm going on vacation next week. I'm bringing the book as my vacation book. My Subrosa flat version has been pre-ordered, and much to my wife's chagrin, it's on its way. I am just stoked to be able to sit down and pick your brain, and so happy that you've got this project, this book coming out in the frame. It's been great talking to you. Thank you so much.
Likewise. Thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you, FlatWebTV. You'll notice that FlatWebTV appears in one of the questions to Kevin. And again, an honor to be on the show. Thank you.
Remember, get your pre-orders in. What is the website that they can go to check the pre-orders and the hoodies and the shirts?
AggroRag.com.
That's pretty easy to remember. AggroRag.com. Get your pre-orders in before March 13th. You will not regret it. Thanks very much, Mike.
Thank you.
So here was another collection to start compiling. Mostly mail ordering schizoid. The only problem with mail ordering things was that I could never forget I had mail ordered the things. Nice. Our correspondence was sporadic, but he would send me whatever new books he had coming out.